Consumerism is a big topic recently, especially with the widening gap between the rich and the poorer classes. Brands are shoveling products down our throats, expecting us to purchase things that we may or may not need. Influencers flaunting extravagant lifestyles and funneling through product after product after PR package after PR practice. And it gets to a point where we enter a pinnacle which kind of makes brands useless and has been affecting brands more than you think. When it comes to consumerism, think of overconsumption, think of indulgence, or an unhealthy version of hedonism, where there's just so much stuff, there's just so much out there. And I believe consumerism has truly taken away from the true essence of what a brand is. On the founder leader side, which is you, it's very easy to get caught up into the rat race of sales and profits and sales and profits. For a lot of companies, sales has become the first and foremost metric that is tracked and sought after. But what if I told you that developing your sales strategy and increasing your sales really is not a good indicator of the success of your brand? Your brand and your business are two entities that can not coexist without each other, but they have separate needs. When you are pushing and funneling for sales, you are making sure that your business is secured and it's good, because your business cannot function without money, and money comes through sales. But when it comes to your brand is what I like to explain it as the essence, the aura, the visuals, the world around your company or your products that you curate very meticulously and carefully and intentionally. And it helps sell your products, it helps you become remembered, and it also helps you stay top of mind. That's what connects you to your customers outside of the pure functionality of your product. Main function of your brand is impact. And emotional resonance is how something makes you feel and its impact on you. So when you take part in consumerism and when you're pushing consumeristic tendencies within your customers and you shovel products down their throats because that's how you make sales, right? When you put out product lines that don't really align with your overall vision and what your company stands for, but that makes sales, right? That's how you stay afloat. There's an imbalance. Yes, sales are important, but I'm not a sales strategist. I like to consider myself a brand advocate because your brand is just as important. When you sit down and prioritize your brand, you are prioritizing the long-term resilience of your company. You are going the distance with your company. But when you are prioritizing sales, oftentimes, if you aren't healthily regulated, you want to see the money coming in certain ways and in excessive ways that sometimes may dismiss the point of your brand or the health of you as a founder in favor of staying afloat, which is very important. But the two can coexist perfectly fine and in a healthy, cohesive way. Coexisting can happen. On the customer side, when they're constantly being sold to, when they're constantly having products pushed down their throats, there is no time for impact and there is no time for emotional resonance. If you're constantly sending out a PR package to every single influencer without really caring about the influencer, what they stand for, if you're funneling out new product lines without even considering how it's different from your other product lines and how it can truly benefit your customers, there's a disconnect. The growth of sales does not automatically equate to the growth and success of your brand, and your brand independently needs to be invested into. How would you like to be consumed as a brand? What was your purpose? When you were first given this vision, when God first revealed to you this vision, what was it that prompted you and pushed you and moved you to invest in this, to take out loans, to bootstrap this company to become what it is today? What was that? Because that is important, and that is the impact that you are purposed to make in your customers' lives. If you develop a culture around your brand and your brand world and your company where it's just fast consumption, where you just need to buy a new one, if you're closing actually, you just have to buy a new shirt every single every month because ours don't last long, or you just have to keep buying new products with the hope that our hair will grow because the last line didn't work for me, or if you're just constantly shoveling just things without being mindful of how you desire for it to be consumed just so that you can maintain a sales quota, that is invoking consumerism. And consumerism is directly tied to jealousy, greed, gluttony. When you evoke those emotions through your sales practices, you're going to have to continue to feed into that same energy. And that is the energy and the culture that you're developing within your company. And if that is not in alignment with what you were purposed to do and what you desire to do, what you saw in the vision that God has given you, you're going to fall out of favor with those customers eventually. And you're always going to have to try to top what you've done. Your brand was never meant for fast consumption. This company that you've built, this brand that you've built, is meant to go the distance. It's meant to be here past 10 years. And most companies don't. Yes, it's important to have sales. And yes, it's important to make sure that business structure is afloat and functioning. That's important. But what's going to take you the distance outside of the healthy structure of your business is your brand. There have been so many brands that have risen and fallen over the past decades, and we don't hear about them anymore. There have been so many companies, great companies and ideas that have started and barely have taken off because the sales part has just not been taken care of. What I want to encourage you with is the truth that your wealth and your brand can coexist healthily. You do not have to sacrifice the integrity of your vision in order to make sales. And you do not have to sacrifice the integrity of your business structure and your sales in order to maintain your vision. There is a very healthy balance that you have to maintain as a founder, especially as a kingdom founder, to go the distance that you were called to do, as well as to honor and evoke the proper emotions out of your customers through your selling process, through your marketing process, which again is emotional resonance. What is emotionally resonating within your customers? Is it greed? Is it confusion? Is it jealousy, low self-esteem? Because when you feed that energy out of your customers, you're going to have to do some very ridiculous things to maintain that attention and focus from those customers, because there's always going to be somebody else, some other company who can do what you were doing 10 times better with 10 times the budget, and you're going to fall on the wayside. And if that's the reason why you're relevant, then you're never going to maintain your relevance for long. But on the contrary, if you can emotionally resonate and evoke the emotional response of abundance, of embodiment, of advancement within your customers, and they see you and recognize you as the soil through which is healthy and moist and something that can help them actualize and become, then you're going to be remembered. And that's the type of emotional resonance that is necessary. A brand that comes to mind is Juvia's Place. They're a Black-owned makeup brand that has been here for probably almost 10 years now, or maybe a little bit more, I don't remember. But there have been so many companies that have rivaled them. But what I appreciate about their brand is that they have just stuck in their lane and stuck to their mission. Just the heart and essence of their company has remained the same, and they're reliable, and just what they stand for, and also their presentation within themselves. Like I don't need convincing to purchase from them or to know that they're reliable. And I also think of them at the top of my mind whenever I'm shopping for products. Like, I know that they're reliable, I know that they're there, and I trust their brand. And that's where trust is built, through your brand. It's a decision that you have to make, and it lies within your commitment and your conviction concerning your vision. How important is the vision, your original vision that God has given you? And how convicted are you in realigning this company to mirror the direct vision that He gave you? That's the question that I want you to take with you. And if you are somebody who is in the midst of answering that question and is committed to figuring out how to align yourself, I am the strategist for you. I'm Naomi Olatayo. I'm your spiritual doula, brand strategist, brand advocate, and brand world architect. And I help spiritual founders realign their companies to mirror their original and divine inspired vision. If that sounds like something you are interested in. I have an inquiry form down below. I would love to connect with you and schedule a call to see if we are purposed to work together. That's all for today, and I'll see you in my next video.